Well, hello again, all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Views back at you with another edition of Stout Sunday. All right. And joining me this morning, Mr. Mike Summeroff over in Brooklyn.
Good morning, John, and everybody.
We have Ronald Terrio down there in Louisiana. Whoa, it's me from Louisiana Beer Views. We have Trish up there in the Boston area. Keep sipping. Good morning, Trish.
Good morning.
We also have... Oh, now everybody's popping in. Okay. We've also got Jean-Pierre down there in Mobile, Alabama, the beverage brand. John?
No, I know a very rare occasion on Sunday. So good day, all of you.
Morning, John.
All right. Good morning. And Robert, the Whiskey Scout, directly below me from the great state of Kansas. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning.
All right,
it's
we've
nice
already got
Trish here. I didn't know.
Yeah, good to see her. We've also got we got Daryl in the chat says happy Stout Sunday. We got Drunken One in the chat. We got the worst half of Keep Sipping Craft Beer Pours says cheers Stout drinkers. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And all right. So let's go ahead and get this started. We'll start with you, Michael. What are you drinking this morning?
Okay. I have Macathan Triple X Stout from England, Highest Kent, and they were established in 1907. This is now being brewed in Canaveral, Florida, under auspices from the company. It's called a Triple Stout. And should I pour it, or do you want to come around again?
Yeah, you can go ahead and pour it, and then we'll go to the next. We'll go to Ron after that.
Okay, so here we go. I don't want the head to get out of hand, so it'll settle as time goes on. Nice beige head, and I'll come around when everybody else gives their initial description.
All right. Mr. Whoa, it's me. Ronnie boy, what you got?
Yeah, it's pronounced woe is me. Woe is me. Anyway, I have a product that I bought Friday, and it just showed up. Like I told y'all, we are off air. Things just show up here out of the blue, and then they disappear out of the blue, like gone with the wind, you know. So it's just here today, gone tomorrow, and I figured, well, Stout Sunday's on the way. I never had this before. It wouldn't hurt to buy it. This is called CPB. You thought it said CBP at first, didn't you? And you were saying, what the hell? You thought they made their own beer, huh? Now, that's in the works, though. But anyway, so it's got a real fancy can. It was $3.99 a can. It pours very dark brown, nearly black. It had a little thin beige head. It's 5.2% alcohol. It's what did I say? It was 25 IBU, 20 IBUs, and it's produced in Minnesota, close to the highway that runs by my house here, I think. That's it.
All right. Sounds interesting. Let's go down or up to Boston and see what Trish is drinking this morning.
All right, so I have Wide Awake out of Everett, Massachusetts. This is actually something new that's out. This is their big sister to just their Awake beer. This is an Imperial Stout, and I think it's 8.1.
All right. I have had one of the beers before. You guys sent me the porter, the regular Awake, just the Awake, which I think is a porter, not a stout, but maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, the Awake is
really
a porter.
good. Okay. All right, and we've got another new addition here, Mr. Shane Fudge.
What's up,
Shane?
Good morning. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Shane.
And gal.
Guys and gals. Yeah, that's right.
Shane.
Okay,
Hey, Trish.
so let's go ahead and keep this thing going. We gotta go to Jean-Pierre, the beverage ramble. What are you drinking this morning, Jean?
I am drinking this morning the Braided River Coastal Stout, which is an oyster stout, 5.7% ABV. The brewery is here in Mobile, and this is my first time having this. I had another beer from Braided River. I believe it was their Hop by Hop IPA, or Hop by Nature, excuse me, IPA. But anyway, 5.7%. I've already sipped a little bit of this right now, and so far I'm kind of digging it. So,
All right. Sounds good. You said Braided River, like braided, the hair braided?
yeah, braided, BRAIDED, River Brewing Company.
Okay. That's what I thought. Braided River. Okay. Never heard of it, but sounds interesting. And I see Robert, the Whiskey Scout, has one that I think that's one of the ones I sent him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it is. I had
All
to
right.
dig in the bottom of my thing this morning in a hurry, and it just came to my hand, so it got brought up. Intentionally Indulgent. It's an imperial stout with coffee, chocolate, and vanilla beans. It's from Perennial Artisan Ales. It's 11.5% ABV. Now, it is a collaboration with Second Shift Brewing and Blueprint Coffee, so that's guess where the coffee comes from, and the brewing company actually did brew it, I guess, is Second Shift Brewing. I don't know how they do all that, but they determine it some way or another. Anyway, it's dark, so I figured it was a stout. But then I read it was a stout, so I was covered. And those who know what I'm talking about.
All right. Awesome. Okay, can't wait to hear what you think about that. Yeah, that's a thick one. It's very Okay, so Mr. Shane Fudge, what are you drinking this morning?
Shane, you're muted.
You are muted.
All right, here we are. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet. All right. So I've had a 4-pack of this already, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys have had this too. You all know where this one's going to go right here already.
Oh man, yeah.
We've seen this one before.
Oh yeah, it's the KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge, and how could I not like something that has fudge in the beer, right?
Or at least something that tastes like fudge.
Oh yeah, it may be fake beer, but it tastes like real flavor to me. I don't, whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Close
If we boycotted all the beers these days
All
that
right.
have flavor in it, then we get to drink very many beers. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour right now while I'm on the next one.
Yeah, that sounds good. So Commerce Ozzy is joining us this morning with a Bell's Expedition Stout. That's a good one. Jules is in the chat as well. Good morning to you, Jules. And Mr. Square Table Degenerates Podcast. What's up, everybody? Oh, that's the guy. We met that guy the other night on the CVP stream. All right. Cheers to you. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back around. We'll start back with Michael Kormaroff, and he can tell us all about his Mackin.
It's a Mackin Triple X Stout, or as they say, a triple stout is what they're calling it, from Hythe, Kent in England, and 4.9%. And in the glass very dark brown. You cannot see through it. And as you notice, the head has declined a little bit, but it's still a very thick beige head, and it's staying around for sure. Let me get a nose on it. You get a lot of roasted malts, kind of a dark bread kind of feel to it. Very nice initial smell to this. But the dark roasted malts are the hero, at least on the nose. Let me take a sip. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers, Michael.
Drinking.
Ooh, the flavor is really nice. The flavor does follow. You get a lot of the dark roasted malt in the flavor as well. Kind of a more intense flavor than the Guinness, which is a little bit higher in alcohol. You know, the Guinness 5.6 variety. So I think just preliminary, I have not had this before. I like this better than the Guinness, which I do like a lot. So the flavor is really nice. You're getting the malts, you're getting the breadiness, medium mouthfeel. It just seems to be, the flavor to me just seems better. It's only 4.9%, so it's sessionable. Goes down pretty easy. I think I would recommend this to somebody starting out in stouts because it's gives you really good flavor, and yet it's not super intense. The flavors are there though, and it's really nice for somebody who's maybe trying a darker beer for the first time. Really enjoying it. I'll come back and have a number for you when we come back around.
All right. Yeah, I've had that one before. It's been a little while, but yeah, good. What I call like a classic stout, or a traditional. But yeah, really sounds good. We'll come back around here in a little bit. Let's go to Mr. Terry with his CPB peanut butter stout from Lupulin Brewing Company.
Okay. I did a little research on where this brewery is located, and I said I could get on that highway right there where I can see the lights. Like at night, I could see the lights on the car. I live that close to the highway. 61, U.S. Highway 61 goes from New Orleans all the way to Thunder Bay, Canada. It like splits the U.S. in half. It follows the Mississippi River. Now, if I get on that highway and drive north and never get off of it, eventually I will get to St. Paul, Minnesota. Well, then it veers north off into Lake Superior into Canada. And it becomes the Kings Highway 61. Now, but if I kept following the Mississippi River Road, if I went a few more miles, maybe another 45 minutes, I'd get to this brewery. And I think that would be a great road trip, in the summer. So I feel like I live close to this brewery. All I got to do is get up on the road and drive down the road a little bit, or drive up the road.
Just a little. Just a day jaunt.
I will join you on that road trip.
Oh, yeah? All right. He invited himself. Okay. You can go. You can ride with. Okay. Here's my review. Well, you can see how dark it is, and we already talked about that. So I'm going to read it. I wrote this on Rate Beer, Beer Advocate, and Untapped this morning. CPB chocolate peanut butter. CPB has a medium beige head, a very dark brown appearance, and no glass lacing. As you can see. The aroma is of peanut butter powder, which you can buy at the store. Cocoa powder, which you can buy at the store, and underlying barley malt. And it also uses oats, but I don't pick that up in this. So they must use one little oat flake. The reviewer will notice a similar flavor to what I just described in the nose. CPB has a medium body and a dry finish, signed off RJT. That's how I wrote it. A few other little relevant points. I noticed. Oh, now you see it's got this big fancy pants label. And if you see the little Reese's peanut butter cups, there's a product sold, and Michael's addressed this, and I have two on Stout Sunday. There's a product sold at Trader Joe's called Bosom. What is it called, Michael? It's called chocolate stout. They use chocolate powder.
Trying to think of the name.
I think it's just called the Bosun Double Chocolate Stout, isn't it? Or the Bosun
Chocolate 5 point.
Yeah,
that same ABV, and it's very powdery, very powdery. So I'm thinking to myself while I was doing this review before we came on air, I was thinking this must be like a old Northwest Territories way of doing it, Minnesota, Wisconsin area, where they're using a powder, chocolate powder, and a peanut butter powder, and they make them very powdery dry, and it's just like a standard flavor from that area. Because you'll notice the Bosom is very similar to this. They've improved the Bosom now over the last 10 years, but you can get a 6-pack of Bosom for $4.99. I bought a can of this for $3.99. Now you can figure out which one I'll be buying in the future.
Right.
But I'm very pleased with this. I have no doubt.
Okay.
John,
Sounds good.
Jay mentioned Trader Joe's, and we've showed this before too. This is another thing you get at Trader Joe's, which everybody should look for if you have them.
Campanology, yeah. That sounds awesome.
And,
It's
to check that ABV on that bottle, perhaps.
It's 9.
Oh, that's the Imperial.
Now, Michael,
version.
is that an unopened bottle? You're saving that one, or you're?
Yeah, I had 2. I had one, and this is an unopened one. I'm saving. I'm cellaring it temporarily, but I can be tricked into using it. I guess you never know. 9%.
Okay.
Well, I would think.
Pretty well, I would imagine. With the peanut butter in there, it'd be interesting to see how it would age. But I would probably be fine for a year or two. All right, let's go ahead and go down to Trish and let her tell us about the Wide Awake from
Night Shift.
Or where the heck is it? There it is, Night Shift. I was trying to find it.
All right, so I have the Wide Awake, which is semi-new out within the last couple weeks. This is the Imperial Stout, 8.1%. So this is the big sibling to Awake, which was actually a coffee porter, and that one was actually in the top 2 of my favorite all-time beers. I did send John and Ellie one. I always send somebody one of my favorite beers, so he has gotten to try that one. It's amazing. So I was really excited to give this one a try today. Night Shift is out of Everett, Massachusetts. They did have a Boston location. They recently had to shut it down due to COVID until further notice. And right before COVID, they were actually putting a brewery in New Jersey. And they had to put the halt on that because of COVID as well. So that's just a little backstory about Night Shift. I really like them. They put out solid beers. And here is I don't have the proper glassware, Wide Awake. So the head is still there. It's got great lacing. It's a very dark, rich beer, like a caramel head to it. So let's taste it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, Trish.
This one is bitter. John, hold on. I just got low battery. I don't know if it's gonna die.
Okay.
No, we're good. Okay. It is bitter.
Oh, right.
It's like the very bitter coffee. So if that's your thing, it's got a lot of vanilla, a lot of molasses going on. I don't know if I'm crazy about that. And just a ton of dark chocolate in it. I totally forgot to do the aroma. Sorry, guys. But it smells like chocolate. Chocolate coffee mixed into it. But that's what this has going on.
All right.
Can you taste the alcohol?
Well, it sounds amazing.
So I think the molasses, there's so much molasses flavor going on, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. But no, the booziness is not there at all. It's very well hidden. It's just like, it's thick, chocolatey, and a lot of molasses going on with that bitter. You know how like if you have a black coffee and it leaves that taste on the back of your tongue? That's kind of what I'm getting, is that very bitter black coffee flavor. So.
All right. Well, we'll come back around and let you give your final thoughts and ratings here in a little bit. Thanks for joining. It's been a while since Trish has joined us Stout Sunday. All right, and speaking of been a while, it's been a really long while since we've seen Jean-Pierre on a Stout Sunday. So good morning, Jean. Go ahead and tell us all about your Braided River Oyster Stout.
Yes, the Braided River Coastal Stout, which is an oyster stout, 5.7% ABV. Braided River Brewery is based here in Mobile. First time having this. It pours it's not dark, but there is sort of a dark brownish look to it. It has, if I've been sipping on it, it has a bit of a light salty kind of flavor, with the oyster shells and whatnot that's in it, but it has that same malty flavor that I'm getting in this. A little tad sweet, but that's okay. There is that coffee flavor that I'm getting, but overall, it's a bit malty. And again, it's a little hint, not much of saltiness, but I think it's kind of balance it out. So, and it's not overly strong. Where I think at 5.7%, I think this is about right for what the ABV of the stout should be at for something like this. So, I'm trying to think of food pairings for this that could go good with this. Possibly that, yes. Oysters, some mussels can go with this. But I'm also thinking, hey, I think any roast could probably go good with this too. But I'm more in line probably seafood. So I'll give you my score later on. It will be, let's just say, very good for this beer.
All right. So a little clue as to what kind of rating we can expect from Jean-Pierre there with his Coastal Stout. Right. Okay, let's move along to Roberto, the Whiskey Scout, in Kansas with his intentionally indulgent.
We can regenerate a head on it. Poured with about a finger and a half head. I got a book on this one. This is pretty interesting. First thing you notice is when you put your nose to it, from here you get a light malty note. When you get your nose in it, you get the dark malty notes start showing up, them roasted malty notes you expect. You get the coffee up front. That's the most up front thing. The vanilla follows, and on the nose, just ever so slight bit of the chocolate. The chocolate really doesn't show up all that well. And I swear I get a little bit of that lactose. It doesn't say it's made with it. I've checked on the can. I can't find anywhere, but as I go through this, I get some of those lactose notes in this thing that you get with a milk stout. I just do. The odd thing is there's just a very light hint of a blueberry note in the nose. Don't get it in the palate. It's not there in the palate, but in the nose, I don't know if it's the combination of all three things and four things, or everything that's going on there just working to give off a one-off aldehyde note that comes across like blueberry, but I do get that. The mouthfeel in this is thick. I mean, and it's what you expect from a dense, heavy stout. I mean, it just coats the mouth completely. It's not something like you're going to drink real fast or real quick. It's just amazing. Again, coffee, vanilla follows, chocolate more noticeable in the palate than it was in the other. I still get that lactose notes, that lactose sensation. I do get a bit of a sugary balance that comes along in there. And then it has the bitterness that I'm looking for an Imperial Stout. And the bitterness rests on the back sides of the tongue like a good Imperial Stout should. It's not overwhelming. It's not overbearing. It's in balance with the rest of the stout. Everything's kind of in balance on this. You get a slight bit of alcohol note on it, but maybe in the 2 to 3% light beer range. It's nothing that's really noticeable on the higher end of things. I like it. I really like it. It checks a lot of marks for me, and I'm really enjoying this. So,
All right. Good deal. Well, we'll come back around and get your final thoughts and rating here in a little bit. We got to go down to Shane Fudge with his KBS Maple Mac and Fudge. Go for it, Shane.
Oh yeah.
Let me get unmuted. All right. So, man, this is a fantastic beer, guys. I've had a 4-pack of it already, like I said, and this is all I can do to keep from like just chugging it right here. It's such a smooth, easy drinking beer. 11%, and it's so smooth. Of course, I have a sweet tooth, being named Fudge. I love fudge, and I don't get to eat it very often. I don't cook it near as much as I used to, but it's nice to get it in a beer. That I even it's flavored. They did a great job with this, man. It's fantastic. But let's look at that. You know, I'm already reviewing and talking about it before we even look at it or taste it. So looking through the light here, you know, you can't see through it. There's a little bit of redness down at the bottom of this glass here when I put it up to the light over to the side. And but it is a really dark beer in the center of it, but it's kind of a ruby red around the edges. You can swirl it up. You know me, I like to swirl these beers.
mm-hmm.
And see how it regenerates the head. And 11%, that's doing pretty good. It's been open for, good 10, 15 minutes now. So when it can do that, that's impressive to me. The smell, right off the bat, I'm getting that baker's chocolate and that rich fudge flavoring. And it's in that coffee. It's a coffee, apparently. It's not just they put coffee and fudge, but it's a style of coffee that they make up there, Mackinac fudge coffee. So it's really nice. I'd like to drink some of the coffee and just see how it tastes actually, and compare it to a breakfast stout by Founders, and then maybe pour those together with a little bit of syrup. Just redo it yourself. I like to think of things like that, mixing it, yourself. Find out what the base beer is, and then try to get close to it and try that. I haven't done that yet, but it's interesting. Maybe you should try that. But anyway. The maple syrup comes in. It's not as prevalent to me as the chocolate notes in this. There's a rich roastiness to this beer. It's really nice. I like chocolate beers though, man, and coffee in them. I think this is probably my favorite KBS or the Founders Long these barrel aged beers that I've had. I like it better than the regular KBS. I don't know. It's similar to the CBS, I guess, in that aspect, but it's just a different kind of fudge coffee they're using in this. So cheers. I'm going to drink a little bit of this. Can't wait anymore. My mouth's watering.
Go.
Cheers, Shane.
That's a beer you can eat, man. That's so chewy. Take a big drink like that and just chew it and make sure it gets all in those taste buds and everything, the roof of your mouth. Man, that's awesome. That's a fantastic beer, guys. I'm going to quit getting on my soapbox about this beer. Mine was bottled on October 26th. I don't know what you guys were getting. Great beer. I'm tempted to go buy another. July?
Yeah.
I don't have one, mine. I threw all them things away. It's been a while.
Yeah. Great beer. Oh, man. I think you know where this is probably going to go.
Yeah.
This could be another Hundy, but we'll wait.
So we might have another Hundies from Shane here. We'll have to wait and see.
There won't be any of this left by the time we get it back around to me. I promise you that.
All right. Oh man. Okay. So if I was a betting man, I would definitely I'd tell you right now what Shane's going to give that beer, but we'll hold out and we'll see what he gives it. Let's see. That just leaves me with my Great Divide Yeti Imperial Stout aged in whiskey barrels. Let me top it off here because I poured it a while ago. See if I can get a little read on the head. And yes, Success. There it is. So pretty much a jet black appearance. I cannot see through this thing at all. A nice dark tan, one finger, creamy looking head. You can get the barrel notes immediately. I mean, it's very, very strong on the barrel notes. Getting oak, vanilla, a little bit of a dark fruit note with this. Date or fig action going on. Smells really good. Also getting dark chocolate, caramel, and some nice roasty, toasty notes from the roasted barley malts, some nice bready notes. It smells absolutely delightful. So cheers, guys. Go ahead and get into it.
Cheers. Cheers, John.
Cheers.
little buddy.
Yeah, really good stuff. So the first thing that actually comes through on the palate is not the barrel notes. It's the roasted barley malt. Nice, deep, dark, toasty notes. Then the dark chocolate. Then a little bit of caramel sweetness. And then the barrel notes kind of come through. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of oak. One interesting thing about this is it doesn't specify on the label whether it's bourbon. It just says whiskey barrels. And it is aged for at least 12 months in whiskey barrels, according to the label. So it's probably not bourbon. It's probably just whiskey. If it was bourbon, I would think they'd probably actually specify that on the label, because why wouldn't you? Either way, getting a ton of complexity from the barrels. Those dark fruit notes are kind of in the background. And it finishes, it's slightly warming going down at 12.5%. You're getting up there in the ABV department. It does have a silky smooth mouthfeel, a little bit of bitterness on the finish as well, kind of balance it out. It's a wonderful beer. It's not quite on the same level, obviously, as your Bourbon County. I think the 1050 barrel aged is slightly better than this. I would actually like a little bit more of the barrel presence to come through, being that it is aged for at least 12 months. I was kind of expecting a little bit more of a barrel aged hit up front, but it's on the back end, really, where the barrel notes come through. But it's a delightful stout. It's well balanced between the barrel aging and the roasted barley malt and the other stuff. It just kind of all comes together quite nicely. Nice head retention for such a high ABV beer as well. The body is on the low end of heavy, high, medium, low, heavy, low carbonation, which is typical for a barrel-aged stout because you're aging it in barrels and the carbonation seems to diminish a little bit. But it's a wonderful stout. I'll come back around and give you my final thoughts and ratings here in a little bit. But it's definitely a winner. It was $9.99 for the can, so it's not super cheap, but it's definitely worth a shot if you're into the barrel-aged stout scene like myself. So,
I've had that.
really quick, before we go back.
I know I've had that.
You've had it. I've seen you drink a lot of the Yeti beers before, Robert, like either on Stout Sunday. I know you and Flacco did that thing with the Mexican chocolate.
Yeah, but as far as that one goes, that's the only one I can find on here. And I know I bought the 4-pack of Yetis, and I've got the little aluminum Yeti cup and all that, but I just never have brought them on here to review, really. So I know I've had it. I just can't remember what I gave it.
Right.
I didn't keep track of it back then.
Okay.
I just drank the shit.
Yeah, I haven't been disappointed with any of the Yeti stuff. This is the first time I've actually had the barrel-aged one, and very pleased with it. Drunken One, this place is the bomb this morning. Betcha. Where are you at? You should be here. Commerce Ozzy is in the chat saying that his KBS Maple Mackinac Fudge was bottled on the 14th of October, so not too – well, that's right there with yours, Shane. And Jeremy Vincent's in the chat. Yeah, go Chiefs. I'm pulling for the Chiefs and the Packers. I would love to see Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers going against each other. Man, that's like the best quarterback matchup you could possibly.
We will get bevy
right
with so many State Farm commercials on that Super Bowl.
No chefs. I don't like the chefs.
No.
We don't really want to hear about your jealousy. We don't really want to hear about your jealous behavior, you know.
I live in the state that I should be a supporter of the Chiefs, but I am not. I'll let it go.
All right. Well, you just have to
idea.
let it go, Robert. Let's go back around and go ahead and get everybody's final thoughts and ratings on all of the wonderful stouts this morning. We'll start back with Michael Kormeroff and his Mackin. What are you thinking, Michael?
Okay, as you can see, it's 4.9 and it's going quickly. Getting more of the chocolate and the coffee as I'm sipping on this more. Definitely very well balanced, and I really do like this a lot. Dry finish. I highly recommend this beer. I am going to give this a 97.
Okay. Whoa! All right.
Just that.
Very nice.
You get so used though to drinking the heavier things that when you have something like this, which is lighter, and it really is so well balanced and so well put together, you still have to rate it just as high as the higher alcohol ones.
Right.
A well-produced stout.
Awesome. Yeah, starting out strong, 97 out of 100. Mr. Ronald Terrio looking at his phone down there.
Ron's great.
You're wrong. How you feeling? Oh, I'm sorry. How you feel embarrassed? I hope you don't feel too embarrassed because I'm looking at the roadmap.
You don't even have a smartphone. You don't even have a smartphone. You have the flip phone. So even if you want to look at your phone, it would be pointless. All right, go ahead.
I'm trying to figure out the best route to go to 60. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Interrupt because I don't interrupt people. I'm trying to, and Robert knows that. I'm trying to figure out. Did I come on here to get insulted? Because I feel like this is why I'm here. I'm trying to figure out the best way. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get to Searcy, Arkansas, and Udall, Kansas. But no, don't worry about that. Claim that I'm looking at my cell phone. That's all right.
I can make it easy. I can give you my address. I can send it right to you.
That's the part. I know, but once I get there, we can meet up at Hardee's or something.
Hardee's is like 100 yards from my house, literally.
Every town up there got a Hardee's. Used to be called Burger Chef. All right. I'm going to score this a 93 out of 100. What?
Carl's Jr. is what they...
See, I'll think joking, but I'm really planning... What?
Down in Oklahoma, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are like... They're the same basic company.
They're the same thing. The same thing.
Yeah, it's the same company. Like Rallies and
Checker.
No, but I was trying to give a score. I'm gonna give it a 93, a most excellent score. I think it's an A. It's not worth. I would not pay $3.99 a can for a 93 because I can get a 93 just like opening and closing my eyes. So that's not that remarkable. But I like it. Here's a few notes that I took.
Okay.
While y'all were talking, Jean. That beer, that brewing company is called Braided River, right?
Correct.
If you owned a company, I was saying to myself, if you're like me, if I owned a company called Braided River, I can assure you I would have a beer brand called Cornrow. Oh, what could be like some style, Cornrow.
Right.
What? Secondly, Braided River, Cornrow. Y'all slow.
Braided River is a geological term. I don't know where cornrows come in. That's a farming term.
It's a beer company.
Even within the state, we know we have a lot of ports here in Mobile. A lot of ships come in, so we have a lot of rivers run through certain creeks through the city.
Well, I was playing off of the braided. Braided cornrows. I would have like
cornrows the hair. Okay, I got you. Bump.
Thinking about growing out my hair. And,
I got a partner in crime right next to me.
Y'all are jealous because Donald Trump pardoned Lil Wayne. So. Anyway, second thing. I really don't want y'all put jealousy on my second thing. Second note, Trish, you did a great job. Don't feel like you have to be what you don't need to be. You did a good job. All I did was read off of my written review, so I wasn't like, enunciating any kind of fancy words off the top of my head. I wrote that review previous to this hangout. So you did a great job, and I hope you come back. And I haven't seen Jean-Pierre on here since, I don't know, Donald Trump was president.
Exactly.
Thirdly, I got two more notes. Thirdly, artificial flavoring, that the issue of artificial flavoring is a phantom menace. In other words, it's a mirage. What I mean to say is, I throw that out there as like an oblique shot at people that have a fixation on artificial flavoring. They'll say, I'm not drinking a beer with artificial flavoring. That's wrong. I don't do that. And then I'll say, oh, okay. And then they'll say, well, look, I got to leave the hangout because I'm going to a birthday party. I said, oh, what you going to eat at the birthday party? Oh, let me think. Birthday cake. What is the birthday cake colored with? Let me think. Oh, artificial coloring, i.e. food coloring in the icing. But that's okay.
Just like corn syrup in beer, right? Just like corn syrup in beer, right?
Same old thing. Same thing. Right. Specialty macros back to the 40s. And that's another topic for another. Me and Michael are going to talk about how macro companies were trying to specialty beers, as what they call today craft beers, going back to the 1940s. The only problem was nobody bought them. So that's it.
All right, now that we
got
the rants, the weekly Stout Sunday rant out of the way.
Let's call it Road Atlas, not smartphone.
Oh, it's out of date. It's out of date. It's a 2012. It's not in date. You better buy a new one.
Hold on just a minute. Since you're inviting me on
while Ron is on his smartphone looking up 2021 atlases, let's go ahead and let's go down Trish and let's hear her rating for the Wide Awake Imperial Stout. What do you think, Trish?
All right, so I did forget to mention that Night Shift brews its own coffee. Like, they have a coffee brewery. A lot of breweries are doing the coffee thing, but many of them have it brought in from local companies, where Night Shift actually brews its own coffee and they brew their beer with their coffee. Many breweries source out to local coffee shops, etc. So I did want to mention that because I do like that whole aspect of it. So I had the Wide Awake. I definitely love it. I think I like the porter better. I think that was more well balanced. This definitely has a lot of molasses going on for me, which where Ron's going with that sometimes tastes a little bit artificial and metallic. I think the molasses is giving off a lot of metallic flavor. So that's a turn off for me, but that's my personal preference. I don't rate on the 100 scale. I'm just not comfortable with doing all of that. So I'm going to do 4.5 out of 5 because it is a great beer. The molasses is just a personal preference for me. So you can add that up. I'm just not comfortable.
It's a 90 out of 100.
Yeah. So
good. So
that's 90.
It's good. It's right in the middle, 85, somewhere in there.
Okay, yeah. I just don't know about that whole skill, so I'm not comfortable doing that. But I give it a 4.5. If you see it, get it, try it. I wouldn't go out and buy a 4-pack of it personally, but that's my preference. So, but I would definitely give it a try. It is very good beer.
Nice one,
okay, so actually, yeah, if we're just going to go literal into 5 by 5 and take a 90 out of 100.
Fair enough.
Just for the,
You doubt my math skills? Okay. I got a degree in this shit. It's a minor degree.
I actually, Ron said it first, but I actually pulled up the calculator app on my phone, on my smartphone, because I am terrible at math. Okay, so let's go to Jean-Pierre and okay, all right. I have to move Michael out of the way here in a little bit.
I'm glad I came to the Stout Sunday because I've laughed a lot today. So, Trish, it's a pleasure to meet you. My first time meeting you it's a pleasure. Getting to meet you. Everybody else I know already from doing these beer reviews, whatever. So, it's the first time meeting you, Trish. So. So anyway, for the Oyster Stout, Coastal Stout by Braided River, or as Jay says, Cornrow Brewing Company, Cornrows. I'm going to give this beer a B plus. So this is good. Again, first time trying this. Maybe if I try this more, maybe the score would probably be a bit higher, but I'm gonna go a B plus on this one. So that'd be 88, 89 grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. All right. So
I'm used to more Imperial Stout. So
well, I started out at a 98, and then I blotted it out and made it a 99. If it had a few more transitions, I would probably make it 100. But I really do like this. The mouthfeel complements the whole experience, and you're getting a lot of good stuff going on here. It's less transitional. It assaults you more as an all at once instead of transitioning across the palate. Like, I know you guys may or may not know kind of what I'm talking about, and that probably comes from my alcohol reviews. But different parts of the tongue sense different sensations, and once you go through time, and time as time develops on your tongue, you get different sensations. That's the only thing holding this back from being 100 in my book. This shit is good. So if John sends you some or you can find it, it's a guaranteed buy.
Oh, this language.
All right. Well, and I don't know what it's not made. It's not local to Georgia, so the distribution.
It's St. Louis. I don't know why I don't get it, because it's St. Louis, and I may be able to get it. I haven't never noticed it before, but I will keep my eye out.
Yeah, it's popular here. I'll buy a can every time I go to Brandon's Package if it's around. Pick up a can because I know it's quality. So
yes, it's very.
They actually have one. They were out of it, Robert, but they actually have a coconut version. So if I ever see that one, I'll have to send you one because I know we're on the same page with the whole coconut stout thing. I know her. So
yes, we are.
All right. So 90. That's going to be. Yeah, that's going to be tough to beat. But if anybody could beat a 99, I think it might be Shane Fudge with his KBS Maple Mackinac. What are you thinking, Shane? Does that get hundies or?
Well, I'm thinking, Jay, the cornrows were harvested long ago, but I might could manage a little truck patch right here with my goatee. I don't know.
I'm going to grow my hair out and I'm going to braid it up. Y'all watch. Y'all just wait.
Yeah. I could grow the professor, the bowl around just the edge here.
around the side.
Embrace the boldness. All right. Anyway, so you think, if you had this and you want a dessert beer, you like chocolate in the beer, and you like a little coffee, and if you like a little sweetness from the maple, man, this is going to be your beer for you. If you can find this somewhere, get it in your life because it's fantastic. I really like this beer. I'm so glad I picked it up and could find it. And I think I've got a liquor store that has got more 4-packs of it that I can pick up. The only drawback is that it's
hard to find.
Yeah. Around here, it's not too hard. Down about 30 or 40 miles from me, a lot of folks just drink the 30-packs. They don't mess with beers like this, so I can just have a little back stock right there in the liquor store. They don't fly off the shelf. There's still CBS big bottles from 2-3 years ago, whatever, how old those are, still in this store. So I can find this. These are disappearing a little bit, I noticed, though. I think some people found out about them. So anyway, it's fantastic. A few weeks ago, last time I was on here, I had internet problems. You couldn't hear me. So I gave my rating like this, and it's real easy to do. And what I try to do on Stout Sundays, the challenge for me is to try to bring you the Hundies. And that's what I'm giving this one, the Hundies.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Now-
100. To me,
Shane.
This is all subjective, and judging is subjective. At that moment is 100 to you, it don't matter how it compares to the other beers before. It's your experience at that moment, and how it compares to others is irrelevant. If it's 100, it's 100. I've got a fridge full of hundreds. I've got a bunch of hundreds right over here, in my corner. I can't find it. There we go. Right over there. Y'all need to come help me. We'll have a Stout Sunday here at Fudge's house.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I'll come help.
We can find some beers right over
I bet
there.
I
to
can
drink.
help you put a dent in it.
Me too.
Come on. It sounds like a challenge. Let's do
It'll
it.
take me a couple of days to get where you are, Shane, but I think I could handle.
You could all be
2021,
here.
man. It's happening. It's all happening.
All of you could be here. Most of you
It's
could be here
happening.
by the end of this day.
I could, I could be there if I started now.
Come on.
So what are we thinking?
I can get there before night.
What am I thinking? Oh, I already gave it to you.
No.
See if I can get the.
I was saying, what are
Now-
we drinking today for the football games? If we give our scores.
I'm probably going to go to
Let them
an IPA.
Let John give us.
Now,
John's
Shane,
got to give a score.
I found that when I took it out of the fridge, if I let it warm up to 50 or above, it got a whole lot better. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know about your
Yeah.
experience, but that to
Yeah.
me, it was much better when it warmed up. And I mean, not
Yeah.
totally hot, but I mean, 50 to 60 degree range. That's
Yeah.
where it peaked.
Yeah, that last little swallow right before I gave my review or my score was, it's been sitting out for almost 50 minutes now. So
Yeah.
nice beer.
Yes, it is.
It is.
This has been a lot of fun.
This
today,
one's
too.
been sitting out for over an hour. Oh, yeah. This beer's been sitting out for probably an hour and a half because I did a review before we even went live. So I've had, not an hour and a half, an hour. We've been live 52 minutes, so probably like around 10 minutes. And this beer develops as it warms. It is more boozy as it warms up. More of the dark fruit and the barrel notes come through. It's really an outstanding beer. They aged it for 12 months in the whiskey barrels, which, like I said before, the barrel notes are coming through. Like I almost expect them to come through a bit more, but they're not. They're getting more intense as the beer warms, but they're still not on the level that I would prefer them. But it's a very well balanced beer, very roasty, toasty as well. The head regenerates nicely when you swirl it around. It's a wonderful beer. I'm going to give it a 97 out of 100. It's up there. It's just not quite on the level of the Bourbon County or the 1050 barrel age. It's very comparable to the like maybe the standard KBS with less coffee notes, but it's up there. I mean, no complaints from me. It's a wonderful beer. So 97 out of 100. All right, so we have been going almost an hour, but really quick before we go off air, give a few plugs. We got tonight on Bumpy Road Brewery. We got After Dark beers at 8 Eastern. Of course, we've got Multi Monday tomorrow, sour IPAs. And then we've got the last ever Wildcard Wednesday coming up this Wednesday, but I think 7:20 Eastern, 7:10, 7:20, right in that range. And all right, that's Food Friday with Alex. All right, that's all I got. So we'll go around really quick. If anybody has anything to say, make it short and sweet. Because we're wrapping this up in an hour. All right.
What are we drinking today for football? What are we drinking today?
If anything, PBR, something light and that you can, session.
Miller Lite.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever whiskey strikes me at the moment.
That's what's up.
You got a couple
That's all I can say.
double IPA. Got one from 420 series. A train wreck is really awesome. I got one from New Belgium, the Higher Plane double IPA. It's really great too. Hazy IPA.
Nice.
High Life Light. Miller High Life Light.
Okay.
Oh, Jeremy, come on.
So
now.
Jeremy has discovered the
I could go to
Jeremy's discovered why the Founders beer is disappearing. Alex has caught all of them up. Yeah, Alex does love his maple. He actually got beer mail from Founders, and he did a on his last Food Friday, he did an unboxing. Bumpy emailed founders on his behalf and told them about Alex, and they sent him they sent him hats, some bumper stickers, some like a bottle opener, some cool stuff. So that was pretty cool.
That is.
Founders to do.
That's fantastic.
And Bumpy.
That is.
So, all right. I see John's getting his mat ready. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Get it ready. Okay.
Heading out the door.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank my illustrious panel for joining today. Thank you to Jean-Pierre and Trish for. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yes, sir. Ron, you got something to say?
Not too much. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, it's funny to be your object of ridicule, huh? It makes me feel really good about myself. But anyway, Wildcard, John, if I don't ever come back to Stout Sunday, you're gonna know why.
Oh, we love you, Jay.
He's coming back. Don't let him bullshit you. This is his moment. Go ahead, Joey.
Anyway, I'm trying. I have Wildcard Wednesday that's going away until it comes back. I have Dawn Busters coming up, and I got 100 Pipers battling against Stewart's illegal mezcal. Smooth, and that's going to be an exciting.
I've never had the illegal smooth, but the 100 Pipers always tasted like rotten cardboard to me. So I'm going to pick Doers.
Well, I think it's going to be a great taste challenge. I'm very excited about it. It's been an exciting series for the last week and a half, and I just been enjoying it so much.
There you go. That's what matters.
It's really fun. That's what matters. Now you can proceed.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ron, for sharing. And everybody be sure to join Wildcard Wednesday this week. This is the last one. And then we're moving on to exciting themed shows, kind of like the old days of
the long and winding road. Wildcard Wednesday.
I quite enjoyed, actually. Maybe we could do a revisit of the Steel Reserve at some point. You did that years ago. You had like 20 people wanted to join, so you had to do 2 shifts. I thought that was really cool. That was way before I had my YouTube channel. But anyway, thank you, everybody, for joining. That's right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thanks to Jean-Pierre and Trish for joining. It's been a long time. I appreciate you guys joining. And Shane Fudge, it's been a few weeks since we've seen you. Glad you got your computer issues fixed. It was perfect today. So hopefully that'll be a regular thing from now on. We'll just have.
I didn't do anything different.
Everybody in the chat for being here. We really appreciate it. We wouldn't be doing this without you fun folks at home watching. Hope everybody has a great Sunday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your football. Go Chiefs. Go Green Bay. And we'll see you all on the next one. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.